This video contains or may contain spoilers for Hollow Knight. An optional quest in Hollow Knight is filling out the Hunter's Journal per the request of the eponymous character who gives it to the knight. The journal is a database of all of the game's bosses and enemies, as well as some other entries of significance, and the knight must defeat a set number of each enemy to unlock the full journal entry. But how does filling out the journal actually work? What exactly does the knight do in order to fill it out? Where does the hunter get his knowledge? I'll be explaining my speculations in this video. The journal seems to be written in some language that remains unknown or obscure to the knight until they learn the full details of whatever a particular section of that text is about. An enemy's page doesn't appear until the knight has encountered that enemy, and the hunter's notes are not fully deciphered until the knight has defeated enough of that enemy to know enough about it. The knight gains soul from enemies as they kill them, so it makes sense that they could also be gaining some innate understanding of that enemy in doing so. Enough of that understanding may be what allows them to understand the hunter's language about those enemies as well. Different entries in the journal have different headings on them, which suggests that the notes on the entries come from different sources. The ones with the hunter's eyes come from the hunter himself, the ones with dream essence come from a dream of some kind, and the ones with the Grim Troop symbol come from the troop. Some entries with the hunter's eyes have made fans wonder how he would know about those things if he had never encountered them himself. Well, for one thing, he's definitely been all around Hallownest to have seen as many creatures as he's interacted with, so it makes sense that he would gain information from lore tablets and other bugs he'd met. That explains his knowledge of things such as the Hollow Knight, Pure Vessel, Void Idol, and possibly Weathered Mask. But what about the Radiance? My theory is that he either knows who the Radiance is because he's heard about her and possibly seen things such as the statue on Hallownest's crown, or he's seen her in his mind, or both. He does mention in one entry that he's felt the infection trying to enter his mind. As for the dream entries, the knight probably gains the knowledge from the essence absorbed by the dream nail. For the warrior dreams, it's typically a quote from the warrior that the knight does not actually hear them say, so the essence in the dream nail probably imparts that knowledge to them. Curiously, the warrior dreams entries are required to complete the journal and earn the hunter's mark, but the hunter would have no way of seeing the dreams without the dream nail. These entries are most likely included because the hunter has seen their graves and probably believes that the knight can and will somehow find out who the warriors were. The Grim Troop entries are pretty similar. As the knight encounters and interacts with the troop more, they obtain more knowledge of them through the dream nail. This could also be how they learn the prayers and quotes from the God-Seekers. As for the entries that the hunter would have no knowledge of and are not required to obtain the hunter's mark, the knight is probably adding those entries themselves from scratch. One example of such an entry would be the Seal of Binding, obtained by completing the Path of Pain, as it has no section for the hunter's notes at all, simply a description. When the hunter gave the knight his journal, he probably intentionally left some blank pages so that the knight could fill them out if they encountered anything that he had not. The Knight is able to fill out parts of the map that are not part of Cornifer's original template, so it makes sense that they could do something similar with the Hunter's Journal. So do you agree with my theories? How do you think filling out the Hunter's Journal works? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to give it a like, share it, check out my other Hollow Knight videos, and subscribe to my channel for more. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.